What if I told you you could make $15,000 in 15 minutes? Then don't skip this ad. I'd love to show you how. See, this is where I'm going. This is my purpose. I'm not there yet, but I did just open up an opportunity that was worth 1,500 from a 15-minute text. So I increased my current reality where I was at now by 10 times the first time. And so then my next one will be to go to 15,000 in 15 minutes. And I'm sharing how I'm doing that. It's just my way so that you can find your way. And that requires some structures to share with you what I've been doing for the last 18 months to be able to step into that. Sorry, 21 months now. Yeah. So I'm in the last 90 days of a project of being whole. And it's been a 2-year journey. And it's my sharing with you what has changed my life, that has allowed me to find love, that has allowed me to be at peace with the chaos, to know my power as a creator, and that it's my choice is the power, and my power is my focus. What do I focus my energy on? Because I was so distracted with everything else, plus going for things that were not my true choice. And so many of us, 95% of us, are doing this, and that is causing chaos, frustration, anger, stress in our lives. And this was how I changed that, how I shifted that, how I moved that. And when I noticed it was all my choices, I could step into being a creator of $15,000 in 15 minutes. And in 15 minutes, I'll show you that it's possible for you. You just have to come and register for the webinar, free webinar that I'll take you through and show it for you. And if you could see how to begin to make $15,000 in 15 minutes, what else would you want to change? What else would you go for? It's not teaching you that, but it's teaching you how to create what you want in your life. I didn't really know that it was peace that I was after when I started. I just knew it wasn't where I was. See, it was in the middle of COVID. Price of oil went negative. For the first time, was it a reality for me that I was not going to be able to hit my financial number with the time I had in my career doing what I was doing. And it's like, holy shit, I came to that. It's like, and then COVID's on top of it. It's like, what's going to happen with my business, with society, with like chaos? How there was no peace in chaos. I couldn't sleep. I was stressed. I was frustrated. There was families that were relying to get food, to be fed, to like have a job. It's like, what was going to happen? And for 4 months, I found myself in this turmoil, in this chaos. And I watched my first YouTube ad and I saw a transformation, something amazing that I said, this changes humanity if it's true. 21 months later, I stand here telling you, I can show you I can teach you how to get $15,000 in 15 minutes, even though I haven't got it. It's structurally the same. It's fundamentally sound. And there's a whole explanation that explains why we're experiencing what we're experiencing. It's whether or not you will take the time to invest your energy to learn it. Because we all have the 15 minutes. What are you producing with yours? To give you a number, 15,000 in 15 minutes, a 40-hour week is 120 million. I'm only at 1.2 right now. Yeah. But I did send a 15-minute text that opened a new possibility for a company that I have not done any work with before, in a situation that I knew was coming 16 years ago, that said, yes, we can do that, Jess. And it is worth 1,500 in 15 minutes or 12 million. So I increased it 10 times once, and now I'm after creating it another 10 times. I don't know what that one's going to look like. I got to fulfill on this one, yes, for sure, but I've done it before. Hmm. And so in that, it's like, oh, I'm sharing with you how I'm doing it. And then when I get there, when it's done, is that when you'll listen? Is that when you'll pay attention? Is that when you will notice? Look, I'm not going for the money. I'm going to show you that your time is worth much more than that. Not when it's distracted, but when it's focused, when you are at peace, when you are focused, you are powerful. And it's like, well, what do I be powerful about? It's like, oh, like I'm afraid of power. We see it in the world today. It's like, focus on your purpose. Hmm. So we're looking at getting clear on our purpose, and your purpose is always there. It's whether you will invest to listen to it or not. Hmm. And 42 years, I didn't want to invest in it. I thought I knew what it was, what I needed, what I was going for. Hmm. So I'll show you. I think showing you is the best demonstration that there is, that when you feel the shift, the change, when you are different as a result, when you do see that you are worth so much more than $15,000, those 15 minutes become completely different to you. And when you realize how powerful you are, that you're creating is a choice, that you can choose to be powerful or powerless. And 95% of us are choosing to be powerless. Give our power away, and only a powerful creator can be a victim. I read an article today that it was how many thoughts do we have in a day, and it was 6,000 is what they said. Like the newest study says, oh, we have about 6,000 thoughts a day. Now that doesn't matter the number. Here's what I find important, because the number doesn't matter, like the 15,000 doesn't matter, but it's the focus on the 15 minutes. Out of those thoughts we have, 80% of the time they are negative thoughts. So how's life for you? It's probably the same if you notice how negative percent of the time you are negative in your life, being a judger, being a blamer, my expectations, yeah. Which means 20% of the time we're either neutral or positive. And of course, we're going to be better than average. We always are. But still, like, to notice your number, is it much different than that? So interesting, of the 6,000 thoughts, 80% are negative. The next thing, even higher percentage than that, of those, 95% of them are repeating. Whoa. So if 90, that, what does that mean? That only means I have a couple of same thoughts that are going over and over again. Do you know yours? I'll show you how to uncover them so that you can stop them. So if you can stop your deepest rooted fear before the thinking brain was even there, but as a child, maybe even in the womb, maybe even passed down from generational, this emotion that has you living the life, seeing the life the same way, 80% negative of your whole day. It's like, oh, could you change that? Oh, yes, the mind. What we're learning with quantum mechanics, that we're light and matter, a wave and a particle. It's like, yes, we can learn how to rewire our brain. You mean I could get rid of a fear? What if I could get rid of a fear of public speaking? Would that be worth $15,000 in 15 minutes? Maybe it may. Oh, Jess, I don't have a fear of public speaking. Great. Do you have a fear? You may not. I bet you do. But see, half of the resistance is facing and allowing that fear to exist, to admit that I have a fear. And so, a first rule that I try not to ever forget is that you are always right. And I'm going to point like at me because when I remember that, I can notice when I'm fighting to be right. And this is my 95% pattern. This is one of my big patterns that is over and over that plays 80% negative. It's that I got to fight to be right. And when I can see that, I can say, why? What am I fighting for? Because there's enough to go around. And then what do I say has to be right? Because this is my belief. And when I can get to the source and the beginning of that, all I need to notice is that there was a different choice when I made that up, and I can let go of all that resistance. This is the fastest way. You can spend a whole lifetime lining up your life and never get there, or you can spend 10 minutes and move big shifts out of the way so that you can begin to see that you are a powerful creator, that you can have peace in your life, and that when we go for our purposes, it's in love, it's in abundance, it's in growth, it's in life. And in that is where we can find peace, find power, and find our purpose. I think that is the greatest gift, that when we can see that, that is worth so much more than $15,000. It's not worth the money. It's the time. And having what you want with our remaining time is what we're after. We just noticed that the patterns, the way that we're playing it now, just isn't working. So it's time to change. Oh, and as soon as we say change, it's like that falls into the typical trap of the personal development world saying, oh, look, I'm here to fix you. I'm here to tell you you're not broken. See, early on, the journey that we say, oh, we're after being whole again. Well, I say we're not broken. We never were. But only if we're broken and we can't find a fix has us play a victim, give our power away. And here's just to discover, notice your patterns of where you're giving it away. And the way that we do that is we either look to the past or the future. And it's positive or negative. And when we can begin to see these, you can begin to see what your pattern is. And all of us have these 6 patterns, but for these six core patterns, most of us have 2 of them that are really dominant. The first core is that when you don't get what you want, you think you're not enough. Now, you could think you're not enough. Now, one that I played was when I have that, something out there, when I have enough, when I have more, when I have my money, then I can enjoy my life. Then I can be happy. Then I can do what I love. But only then. Only when I get 10 million, and that's where my focus was how do I get 10 million for retirement? Never got there. Not yet. I couldn't have got there in the old structure where I was putting money ahead of it. What's your core pattern? See, people that are going for more and more success, this is our pattern. And it's once you get there, what do you need? More. And when you get there, what do you need? More. When do you ever get there? You die. Or you see your pattern and be like, oh, look, I can have this, whatever I want now, and it's not more. So I can be happy. Oh, wait, you mean I can take a direct line? $15,000 in 15 minutes. Focus. Don't scatter it. Focus it. It's the same amount of energy that's distracted everywhere as the same amount of energy is focused on what you want. $15,000 in 15 minutes. Do you remember what it felt like the first time you heard that? Cringed. Ooh, that can't happen. That was your pattern. Now that you see that pattern, notice where you play it. And then when you play it, what are you going to replace it with? Because everything has been built on top of that. Your whole life pattern is built on top of that. Now that you remove that, what do you want to put in the middle? Oh, I put peace. See, I was always fighting to be right. And so I put peace in there. Now, that was the newest one that I put in just this week. It replaced passion. of my three P's that I'll talk about here. But at the end of the day, it's to notice, where is my focus? Where's my attention? And when I said, like, oh, look, I can go for $15,000 in 15 minutes. The first time I said that, I was like, oh my God, you sound like an infomercial. That's what everyone's offering. I don't believe it. I didn't at the time. But that was my creation to see, like, oh, I can be at peace in that because I can offer that. I can show them, and I just am here demonstrating it in 15 minutes the first time for you to see your core pattern. So that when you see that, you can be like, oh, what do I want to replace it with? I don't want to fight. And why? So I build my story of why. That's the slow way. The fast way is to be like, oh, look, there's that belief. Oh, I'll teach you how to rewire your brain. 10 minutes a day. That's the basic. And then as you go through the day, when you notice your pattern, be like, oh, what am I fighting for? What am I resisting? What do I want? How is it now? 5 steps that I'll share with you. That was 10, but it's only 5 steps. It becomes the new dominant practice. And it's the only one that you need because it's in the direction you can't screw up. Because it is putting all of your focus on what you would want to create, a life that you would want. See, that is what we all want, but we're all so resistant. Why can't you have it? And the longer you can sit in the question is why you can't have it. This resistance that you want to move away from, of why you can't have the life that you love, when you feel it, you begin to label it. And when you label it, you acknowledge it. And when you acknowledge it, you can let it go. That's the slow way. The fast way is I show you to notice that and recode it, rewire it out of the way. But you have to be in a structure. Otherwise, you're just staying in the unresolvable loop. There's so many more options to stay in the unresolvable problem-solving loop, which is why we're stuck in it. And we can't get moving. And so what we do is to show you from a creator, from a powerful structure, from holding your power rather than giving it away. You can create $15,000 in 15 minutes. And then when you see that, you realize, oh, it's not the 15,000 that's important. It's my 15 minutes. And what I focus it on is really what's important. And oh my goodness, I need to learn that skill. Yeah, we do. That is called living rather than being entertained, rather than being broken, rather than being fixed, rather than surrendering our power. Step into the current reality and say, no, I am powerful. And that's why I love the 3 P's of love. Like the 3 P's of love. First one is peace, and it was the last one I found. Oh, and where I found peace for me was between my masculine fight to be right and my evil, like those two, like my dark side, and the feminine love. Between those two is where I discovered peace just a week ago. But the first time I experienced love was after this process of recoding my brain and working it for 3 months. Did I finally allow love into my life again? Because my first 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, I only lived in love. It was all I knew, with moments of fear, with moments of chaos, with moments of negativity that I didn't like. And I always want to get back to that peace, that love, but didn't know how. We all are on that journey, and we made choices along the way that have us keep seeing reality and creating reality the way we are because we are powerful creators. So there's so much more information than just our thinking brain. We have 2 other brains that I shut off listening to when I discovered math. Now, sorry, 1 brain that I shut off, and the other one I was trained, I patterned, I conditioned myself to listen to it a certain way in alignment with what my expectations of success meant. Made up of a child of how I saw the world work. And so part of what I'm working with here is a communication with your whole body, with your three brains. See, we have three brains that when they're not aligned, we are in chaos. We are in frustration. It's not working out. We're judging. We have expectations and we're blaming. We give our power away. That is what I call a problem orientation. We're oriented to the world as a problem to solve, which is an unresolvable loop. You resist me on that one, which doesn't allow us to see it, because that is the way that we say the world works, is I've got to go solve problems. But let me ask you, if you solved all your problems in the world right now, would you have what you wanted? Some would say yes. I would disagree with you, because you're rather solving a problem rather than going for what you want. See, for a problem to exist, you have to create the problem so that you can have a solution. And so when you get the solution, now what do? You're like, yes, look, I won. I got it. I got there. Now what? Your brain can't live in a problem-free reality. So what will it seek out no matter what? It's going to go look for another problem so that you can fix it, so you can solve it, so that you can get the praise and the wonder, the accolades, you can have what you want, but it's always more. It's unresolvable. So you can never have what you want because there's always more problems to solve. Again, this is our focus. So if we say there's no problem to solve, resist me on that one. It's like, what do we go for? I'd be purposeless. I wouldn't know what to do. Be alive. It's like, what would you want to create? What would you want to experience? Wait, no one has asked me that question. And if you did, I feel the resistance to it because I can't have it because I'm not enough, not worthy, not good enough. I don't have enough capabilities. I'm not perfect yet. I don't belong. Which one? Which one is your 80% negative pattern 95% of the time? What's the biggest one? 51%. Find the majority. It's one that you played over and over and over again, trying to make sense of the world as a child that was just learning words, had feelings, knew what was good, what was bad, right? Like what was pleasurable, what was fearful. And that has us living a life of fear. Fear, I'll also call a negative pattern 95% of the time. 95% of the same patterns, right? Repeatable means only 5% new ones show up. I don't care about the new ones. I don't care about the specific situations. I want to find the key, the cores, the fundamentals. That one pattern that's causing all the chaos in my life. The one pattern that says, no, you can't have $15,000 in 15 minutes. Why? Because it's pulling on your peace. It's like you can't have peace. There's no peace with that statement. There's no alignment with that statement. And then your power, look at your power when you say that statement and just notice what your power is. His power said, oh, I'm powerless. I can't have that. No way. I look, and some people will look to, oh, this is what I've done. This is where I've only been. This is only my capability. Oh, and if I say that, I won't belong because I'll sound like all these guys that I don't want to sound like. And I'm just not perfect. Like there's no way I could be perfect enough for that, because only perfect produces the life that I'm at now, and I can't get any more perfect. These are just examples of some of these core negative patterns that are repeating themselves in humanity. Fundamentally, it's all from the same thing, is that our perspective of the world is coming from from a problem orientation rather than as a powerful creator. And when we see this, when we become aware of our power, then we can look for the peace and we can find our passion. And then to discover the purpose, which is what life is all about. The journey. We're so focused on the destination or where we've been that we're missing the moment of now. We're missing the 15 minutes. This is the second 15 minutes. Have I made $30,000 for you yet? Are you seeing how you can remove a fear to anything in this so that you can have what you want? So I'll ask you, how can you make $15,000 in 15 minutes? Notice how it's different. You're teaching your unconscious right now that it might be safe. And if there is a possibility that you could learn this, did that change your life? Is that 15 minutes important? Is learning how to focus your attention on what you want important? Is it important to get the resistance, to notice the resistance so you can let it go, or spend a lifetime fighting it? What I love is that it's your choice. You are a powerful creator. You can do what you want, and you will, because you will be right. But if this resonates with you from a deep level, from your heart, makes sense. My ego brain can't quite wrap around it. It takes a couple of years to get it to clear out all of the negative patterns I put in the way. I want to make it quicker for you than 18 months for me. I really think like I'm aiming at 6 months. Boom. But you have to invest your energy. And if this was worthwhile for you, then come join me on my free demonstration where you can bring your issue. We can work through yours specifically. We can work through it as a group. And what this is a new demonstration of coaching, because from a new orientation, this isn't the same coaching that we know. This everyone who invests their energy gets a huge shift. And I'm approaching it different than anyone else, meaning that you are not broken. You are already whole. You just have to learn how to be powerful, how to be peace, how to be at peace in your life through your power going for your purpose. 3 P's of love, 3 P's of life. No, that's a 3 P's of life. Peace, passion. No, see, love. I love. Love is in there. I think love is part of life. Peace, purpose, and power. All of those, we have resistance to them as we grew up. And when we can pull those apart, let the emotions go, make new choices, our life will be completely different. And so that is what I'm inviting you into. What is your 15 minutes worth? Is it worth learning how to make $15,000? Or are you going to listen to your resistance that says you can't do it? You can't have it. You're not good enough. Are you going to continue to give your power away? It's your choice. But if you click here, I know you're serious. I know you want to make a difference. I know you want to learn how to change. I know you want to fulfill on that New Year's resolution that we drop. And it's like, this is not how to do one resolution. This is how to do all of them. And rather than focusing on everything that you don't want, you only focus your energy on what you do want. This is a powerful creator. How to be a powerful creator, how to live a life of power, of purpose, of peace. So I'd love to see you on the webinar. I'll take you through this transformational process. See for yourself. And then with that, I've got offers right now. They're free. Yeah. The message to get out, to teach people how to be powerful creators. That's my gift. That's my purpose. That's my passion, is to teach people how to make $15,000 in 15 minutes, because the money is not important. The time is. And if I can show you that your time is worth much, 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 much more than $60,000 an hour, I may have changed your life. But I know that you would be in the direction of finding your purpose, your power, and your peace. And when all of humanity is going for that, I'm done. When we're living in abundance and not scarcity, when our children have that opportunity of peace, of power to be creators, we can close the chapter on survival. Humanity can close that book, close that chapter, and open a new one around thriving. What is it to thrive together? What is it to create together? What is it to be powerful organizations, powerful humans, powerful creators, going for their purpose, fulfilling it together? The whole reason we are meant to be here. Let's stop wasting it. Let's stop chasing dollars for your back, for your work, for your muscle, for your energy, for your thinking. And if it's not for more than $60,000 an hour, what are you settling for? This is the fastest way. And it's going to get faster. It's going to change the more and more people that come in. It's like it will only go this way. So don't miss out. Don't be left behind. It's around here's a dilemma that don't know how to work through. As a creator, what I see is people's greatest potential. And it's not that I see it all, but it's like I see so much more than what they can see. I can see the blocks, and then from that, we can see past that. Now, this is what I think maybe all humans do this. I think that's what we're able to see with people when we learn it. But when they don't see it, that is sad. That's where I get sad. That's where I get frustrated. That's where I don't have peace right now. Do everything I can, my best. And it's like, but it's their journey. It's like they got to go their way. And it's like, I got to move on. I don't want to. I care for you. I love you. I want the best for you. But how much can I keep giving? I've got to go do my thing. I'm creating mine. I want to go together. And knowing that it's your choice, I have to be at peace with. And that is not always easy. But what I do is I accept that it is just a feeling. And I appreciate it because it reminds me I am alive. It reminds me that I do care. It reminds me that I have passion, that I have purpose, that I am powerful, that we all are powerful. And it's just perfect how it is. I can't always remember that, but when we teach our children's, that is the way life works. That's part of humanity I want to be a part of. So for a guy that was always chasing money, always chasing success, always chasing the CEO, the business owner, the highest paying job out of high school, out of college, always wanting money because money was validated that I was good enough. To let that go and say, no, focus and time is more important. And for me, my best is to give as much free out as I can. That's just my call right now. So how do you make $15,000 in 15 minutes? First have to lay it down and say, is it possible? What would that be like? What might I do? And all of a sudden, you will get a little tingle. It's excitement. It's like allowing that energy to pop through you. It's like, yes, I've been shutting this off for so long. More of that. And that's the little sparks that we keep looking for. Reminding ourselves we're looking for that spark, for that peace. Remember, peace, I didn't find it first, I found it last. Power of choice, that we have a choice, and we are powerful creators when we choose to be. And if we don't choose to be powerful creators, we are choosing to be powerless because you can't be both at the same time. So our 80% negative pattern has us giving away our power. 95%, it's a repeating pattern. Those repeating patterns, we tell ourselves, I'm not good enough. Therefore, we go look for it and we find it and we say, "Oh, see, I told you I'm not good enough. Look, let me go help more people so that then I'm finally worthy of allowing it myself. Let me be successful so that I can prove to someone that I'm good enough. I'm capable, that I belong." These are these patterns, these cores that when we find the beginning of this, you notice that you can choose something new. And what that does is allows that pattern to dissolve. Poof. It allows that emotion out, and now you can become more aligned. And so we have a whole history of emotional misalignment that we spend conscious effort moving out of the way so that we can unpack what we've been hiding as a child, which is our true passion, our true purpose, and our true power. And in that is where we find peace in our life. And it won't be what you think it is, because your thinking can only produce it one way. And when you let go of that thinking, again, remember $15,000 in 15 minutes, you can see possibilities. And so if you're only making $10, if you're making $2, how do you double it? How do you go multiples of 10? However big, it's your choice. What's big enough for you? And that is the journey, if that's important for you. Whatever it is, you put your focus on it, you go for it, you apply these 5 steps that I teach you in here, apply these 5 steps and you'll have it. Now, you have to put the energy in, though. I can't. You have to engage. It's your choice. Thank you for being here with me today. This has changed my life. This is going to change humanity. It's the only way I see it working. And I've always sat with, like, how could this work? How could we do this? Like, there's no way that we could have this or that. And it's like, do you see how I wasn't allowing it? And I see so many people not allowing it either. And that is shutting off our potential. That is shutting off our creations. That is dampening down creating. And if we want more of what we had, then that's perfect. If we want to keep producing the life that we have, if we don't want anything that's better, that's different, if we don't allow that, we won't have it. We'll just keep producing the more of the same. And that is not a future I want. I don't think that has a good ending. So I choose something else. How about you? And what's beautiful is we do it together. So in peace, in joy, at peace, with love. In my passion, in my peace, in my power, in my purpose. $15,000 in 15 minutes. 500% return on your time minimum. And when we do that together and we tell our stories, is how we change the world. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you get peace in the world? One heart turns towards love at a time. Seeing, like, for me to accept love, my dark side, my evil, had to see it could be loved as well, because they are on the same. And love had to see that it could be evil, because without each other, they don't exist. And all we have to do is rise above this duality and say, oh, they're just part of me, part of my powerful creator, part of my pattern of surviving. And when we see, oh, it's just our choice, we can choose a different experience, a different reality. We can spend a whole lifetime and never get there, or we can invest 6 months and have it like that. In geological time, both of those are short. Which one in your lifetime do you want to bet on? Maybe it takes 8 months. But once life's over, there's no, well, maybe there's a redo, but I don't know of one yet. Take care. So that was $45,000, 45 minutes. I had to make sure my math was right. It's like, oh, an engineer had to do that. So leave a comment. What did you see? What did you produce? What's new for you? How are you going to 10 times where you're at right now? What would you do? What would it feel like? How would you do it again? Do it again. Do it again every 15 minutes. Make it part of your life. Make it part of your creation. How do you do it? What would you do? Find your power, find your peace, find your purpose. 45,000 in 45 minutes. Bye.